We are live. We are live. Sergeant Horror here with Mad Monster, with the very talented, I'm excited, Hannah. We're going to talk about making a horror movie. How are you doing this evening, Hannah?
Hey, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited to have you on here. It's been a while. I'm a huge admirer of your work. I know you just finished up a picture with some friends of mine, Time's Up, that's in post production. And you guys, one of the things we had talked about earlier today and the other day, and I've been talking about on my live feeds, is people are asking me, how do I get involved in the horror industry? How do I get involved with making horror movies? How do I break in acting? How do I break in producing? And I have the answer. Hannah has the answer. She is directing a new movie called, tell them, Hannah.
The events surrounding a peeping Tom.
A Peeping Tom.
A peeping Tom, yes. And it's a psychological horror, and it's about a peeping Tom, and you follow him throughout this amazing twisted story that it just keeps you guessing. And there's an occult element to it, and it's just it's a fascinating script. It's unlike one that I've ever read before. The only thing that I even think comes even close to it is kind of like, do you remember Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. Yeah. So the only thing that even remotely reminded me of at all was, and it was basically just the lead character and how his perspective of how you're experiencing this very, you're experiencing this kind of like psychological mind fuck with him, and you're on the journey with him, and that's what the Peeping Tom story is. You're going with our lead character Martin, who's played by Damien Maffei, and you're on this trip with him. So that's what we're doing. And yes, this is one way, if you wish to get into the movie business, that you could have that opportunity. We are doing an Indiegogo, and one of the perks that you can buy by donating towards the feature, getting the feature made, is to be in the movie with a little cameo role, or as an extra, or as even just in a photograph, or just your name in the credits. So we're doing all those things. We also have a PA perk that you can be on set for a day, working with the crew and cast. And so that's definitely one way.
Stephanie says, hey, Stephanie. Brandon says, don't take Hannah back to your motel room with you. I agree. And if you're a fan of VHS, and that's the best segment in VHS, and this is the way I'm looking at this. And this is why I'm so excited that you're going to be directing this, because what you brought to that performance, you saved the movie, because that was the best segment.
Thank you.
If you can bring what you bring in acting to directing, it's gonna be astonishing. Damien sent me the script a couple of months ago, and I took a look at the script, and I've read way too many scripts. And I'll let everybody that's watching know a little secret. Nobody actually reads scripts in Hollywood, but Sergeant Horror, I read the scripts when they get sent to me, and it's a good script. But the problem is we're sitting here as horror fans, and we're looking at the crap that's coming out of Hollywood. A24, I did a trailer reaction. Y'all can watch the video. Just is spending millions and millions of dollars on a stupid movie about a lamb. I mean, no, I can't even make this up. But yet you have these very talented filmmakers trying to raise just a little bit of money for an excellent indie movie with a great script, a great director. And it's in a time where everybody, I see it all over Facebook, everybody says, hey, we need to empower women in horror. Well, this is no better way to empower women in horror And the way this works, because I know a lot of you guys probably might not know, is you could go to their Instagram page, which is right there, and they got all the information there. And what happens is you give a little bit of money and you can get a perk. And I'm going to share the screen real quick. They'll bear with me. You can see right here, for as little as $10, you can help some people make a horror movie. I like that. But $10, you can get a shout out of social media. Felissa Rose is involved. Damien, if people aren't aware of who Damien is, Damien played the killer in The New Strangers Pray at Night. He was the devil in Haunt. They always trying to cover Damien up, but I think he could probably act a little bit, and I'm interested to see what he can bring to this role. You get stickers, but this is my favorite perk, Hannah. I mean, you get a first edition DVD. I mean, if you're going to buy the DVD anyway, might as well go ahead and buy it up front so they can make the movie properly. I love this poster. You guys, let me know what you think of this poster. And I'm going to stop right here for a second. Leslie says, hey, Leslie. Scott says hello. Hey, Scott. Like that shirt you got on there, that Sergeant Horror shirt. Liz says, hey, Sergeant Hannah. Hey, Liz. Leslie says, oh, this sounds like something I'd love to act in. Well, you can, because there is walk-in role perks. Stephanie says she's got the best perk. Sarah says, hey, Stephanie, they talking. Dana says, hey, Dana.
Hey.
Nick says, Hannah. And if you like Hannah, Nick, I got a perk. There's a perk on here. One of my favorite perks. And that's probably the perk I'm going to do. I'm going to get 2 perks myself, but I'll let you know. Patrick says, howdy. And she says, hey, so excited for this. I'm excited too. Because I mean, you got an amazing young actress named Kate. You got Miss Cole that's involved. You got Felissa Rose. I mean, this poster art. But this right here is the best perk. I mean, Damian Moffat signed 8x10. That's not the best perk, but that is a decent perk. You know, Hannah signed 8x10. Felissa Rose, a Zoom call with Felissa Rose or Damien. That's a pretty good perk right there.
And they talk. They talk.
They do talk. They do. But this is mine, the personalized I like you video. I love that. That is like got to be the best perk ever. It's like, if you like VHS, that is something that is worth the money. When in the hell are you going to get a chance to get a personalized Hannah, I like you video? Because I do like you, Hannah. I mean, and a signed first edition DVD. Because if you're like me, I got stuff for the collection all the time. I just got a saw VHS in the mail today. I've been on a VHS kick.
Wow.
And then we'll go down here and talk about this. We got a mask by Damien, personalized video from the cast, your photo in the movie. So you guys wanting to get the attention of people, wanting to break into the industry, this is where the thing goes, production assistant for a day. And people that might not know, PAs are in the heart of the business. You really get to see how a film works, especially on the indie level. And to get the PA for a director like you, Hannah, that's amazing right there.
Yeah, it's just fun being on set, you know?
I mean, and then get a role. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, just craziness right here. I mean, good craziness. Get to have lunch with you guys. I mean, be in the office party and then act with Damien Moffat. I can't never pronounce his name right. I'm
It's
sorry.
it's Maffei. Don't worry. I called him Maffey for like the first 11 years that I knew him. So, but it's
I got that southern accent, so it's kind of like I just. But
just
I
so
mean, there's so many good things on here, and it's like if people want to get involved in the industry, this is how horror movies get made. Because what happens is you get a script, you get a crew together, and then next thing you know, you need money. And then you go around and you try to find investors because investors, that's the business part of this thing. And I spent a lot of time on the business side of this. The problem is an investor can take that script and take away the creative control of the cast and crew and director. Hannah's got a clear vision for this project, but an investor could come along and not agree with her, but want to take control of the film. And you don't want that. We as horror fans want good horror, and this is how we get it. And that's why we're doing this live stream tonight. I mean, I'm just excited about this. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen a good, crazy horror movie coming up like this.
yeah.
Patrick says all the perks rock. I agree. There's some good perks on there.
They got creative with it, didn't they?
Yeah. Patrick says, let's make this happen. That's up to you guys. I mean, I'm going to do my part. Leslie says, I'm in.
Nice.
Give Hannah all the power. I agree. And I wanted to ask you, like, what influences you as a director? Like, what made you want to decide to, like, step back from being in front of the camera and get behind the camera?
Well, I've always wanted to direct. I directed a segment of Dead by Midnight 2, which is called Dead by Midnight Y2 Kill, and it hasn't come out yet. Neither has the first one, but they just recently got distribution last week. And I wrote and directed a segment in that, and it's a horror comedy. And I just truly enjoyed the process and working with the actors. And I love storytelling, just all things about storytelling. I mean, I don't think I'd make a very good editor, but everything else I just love. And this is my second favorite, maybe even first favorite thing to do. It's just a different kind of favorite. Like, I love acting, but there was just something so incredibly satisfying about seeing a vision from the beginning to completion, and it being, yours and all of the people that you brought in to collaborate with you. It's just, it's very rewarding.
Now, what would you say your directing style is? Like, who would you say you're influenced by, or are you just your own style?
Well, my directing style is I hire really, really talented people and I let them do their really, really good thing. And
that's really better.
And then I take credit. Yeah, okay. Specifically for this script, I've been watching a lot of Lynch. I think that, like I said, Stir of Echoes. I think that was David Keop or something like that. Directed that.
I can't remember the names.
Keop or something. And let me think. Neon Demon. There's some aspects of Neon Demon that I want to kind of just like take inspiration from. The fever dream aspect of it, the surrealism, then that's Lynchian too. And there's going to be a little bit of Nightcrawler in it, not just because of the peeping aspect, but also because of like the use of natural lighting. And it just looks really crisp and clean, and it's just like I'm going to incorporate elements of that as well when it's not like a trippy fever dream, when it's more anchored in reality. So that's what I'm thinking about for this particular feature. That's what's been inspiring me lately. Yeah.
And you guys that are watching this, please, if you would like to see Hannah direct, comment on this post and let us know, hey, I want to see this. I want to see this happen. And if you can't contribute to it, at least share this live feed and help get the word out. there's a lot going on in the horror community right now that a lot of people might know about on social media. But like, if you go to Instagram right now and you search the word horror, they try to send you to a suicide hotline thing. It's crazy. It's like a lot
Whoa.
of people's social media, a lot of horror people, a lot of special effects makeup people that are on social media. You really get suppressed. And it's hard to get the word out because you're combating algorithms. You're combating, you know, Facebook might not want to let you get the reach that you need to get the word out. But if you guys hit that share button, if you hit that like button, if you go to Peeping Tom Movie on Instagram and follow them, share their latest post on your story, tag a friend. I mean, this can really be a big grassroots thing. I mean, this could, if everybody that shared a Women in Horror post this year shared this live stream and went and followed the Peeping Tom Movie, we would get the word out really, really quick. Because to me, I am sick and tired of people saying we need to elevate women in horror and then doing nothing. You need to get off your ass and support something. And that's what I'm doing. I believe in you, Hannah, as a director. I think that you can do it, and I have faith in you. And hell, one day, if you ever do a pig clown movie, I might come out there and work with you, you know?
That's a really good idea.
Stephanie says, I mean, she has me in the finale, so she's seeing my 2 local commercials that are no longer in rotation. Got you in the finale.
Nice.
I definitely want to see it. Liz said, I agree. I want to see it too. And just bought a perk. Well, we appreciate that, Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Daniel says, I love this. And I mean, this is the way indie people that want to know the business is you can have the best script, the best idea, the best crew. But if you don't have the funds to turn it into the reality, you don't have a movie. And the people that typically control the purse strings are these corporate Hollywood folks that don't know nothing about horror and has never really watched a horror movie in their life. I had a guy that financed a found footage horror movie that never watched Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch. That shows you how corporate these guys are, you know. But if we take control as horror fans of the community and support quality projects that are going to get made, they're going to get distributed, and they're going to get seen by people that, I mean, to me, you were in one of the most iconic found footage movies ever. You kind of like launched Bloody Disgusting's whole, you know, movie branch and saved VHS because the rest of it kind of was boring to me, you know. I mean, you stole the show.
Thank you.
Know? Joe says, I'm coming to be a PA for today. I'm so excited. That's what I'm talking about, Joe.
It's going to be fun. Yeah.
James says, what do you think about Halloween Kills? We ain't thinking about Halloween Kills. That's more of the Blumhouse $2-3 million crap. I tell you what I think. This ain't what Hannah thinks. This is what I think. I'm disappointed in Blumhouse, Platinum Dunes, you know, A24, all you damn big time people out there that are putting the same men in power and could cut a check for a couple $100,000 and it'd be no sweat off your back that could help get this made. You know, I'm going to not buy the Shout Factory $500 Halloween Kills 1 through 5 box set so I can help support an indie film. That's what I think. Is we got to stop being sheep in the horror community and buying the same repackaged crap that Blumhouse, Shout Factory, and all them want to sell us. And let's make some good horror movies. Let's create something new. You know? I mean, it's just, it gets me excited because I'm just like, damn, we need something better in the horror community. How many times do we need to see damn Michael Myers come back? I mean, it just is what it is. I'm sorry, Ann. I get on a rant.
No, I mean, I feel you. There's nothing like the horror community, you know, that you just embrace new ideas and new concepts. You're going to give it a shake. You know, if you don't like it, you're definitely going to say so, but but the horror community is going to watch it, and that's what I love about the horror community so much. Is just like you're just like, I'll give it a shot. It doesn't have an A-lister in it. It doesn't have $5 million, but who knows? It could scare me. It could freak me out. Let's give it a
Well, if
watch.
you look at some of the greatest horror movies ever,
Yeah.
without arguing with people, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably one of the greatest horror movies ever with Leatherface, the original. It didn't have an A-list actor in it. It didn't have, it was like a couple $100,000. George Romero. It didn't have A-list actors in it. And it was cutting edge with one of the first African Americans with diversity in horror right there before it was popular. George Romero did it.
Boom.
And that's what it's going to take to get the next big horror movie. Not Jason Blum writing a $2 million check to cut another Blumhouse cookie cutter Halloween Kills movie. It's going to take an indie filmmaker out here grinding like this, raising the funds from us, the horror community. I mean, that's what it's going to take. Stephanie makes a good point. She's like, you could just make a donation. You don't have to do enough for a perk. That's true.
That's true. Every little bit helps.
She says, preach. I'm more of a rant. I'm just kind of crazy this evening. Says, yep, and let me tell you something, brother. I got a future horror movie project I got to get working. You do, guys. Guys, anybody out there that has a dream or idea of making a movie, do it. Even if it's on your phone, even if it's on whatever camera you got, don't let nobody stop you. You know, get out there and do it. Upload it on. If you ain't got enough to shoot a whole movie, shoot a scene. Upload the scene on YouTube. You know, get it out there. I wanted to ask you, Hannah, and we're kind of backing off this a little bit because this is just personally. How did you get that role in VHS? Because I've casted actors before, been involved in casting, and how did they talk you into doing that?
How did you? Yeah, they did have to talk me into it. Yeah, I was okay. So I was already peripheral friends with David Bruckner. He's one of the local boys in Atlanta, and we've all been working here for a while. Everybody knows one another, and this was back in 2011, 2010, something like that. And basically, him and Nick Tukoski wrote it with me in mind. They still had me audition, but I can't remember, but yeah, and he was just like, okay. So the thing about David is he's such an incredible storyteller, and he gets into so much detail, and he's so passionate about every single aspect of every single choice. And so he came to me, and he was just like so excited and just into it. He was just so into it, and it just sucked me right in. And I was just like, next thing I knew, I was like, yeah, I'll play a naked demon. Sure.
I remember watching it, and I was like, all right, the movie's all right. And then I was like, man, there's something up with that girl. And then it kept on. I was like, that was kind of brilliant the way they did that. And then I saw Siren, and I saw when we posted about the Peepin' Tom movie, people, kept asking, would you do a Siren 2? And I'm almost like, yeah, she probably would do a Siren 2 if y'all funded this and let her direct Siren 2, because I would like you to do Siren 2, but I'd like to see you direct it.
Oh, yeah, because I've got some ideas for that. Like, I want to explore Lily's world. I want to see where she comes from. I want to see a whole bunch of succubuses. I don't know how to say succubi or plural, but whatever. I want to see all of them, and I want to see where they come from. And I just think it would be a really neat, maybe even a prequel. I don't know.
Now, you're originally from the United Kingdom, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Can you still do the British accent?
Yeah, I do. I do it in movies and television a lot. I was on Toast of London a few years back. I think it was 2017, and they had me do a Cockney accent. Okay, so she was sort of a demon, but it was actually an allergy. The allergy manifested as a possession. Anyway, it's kind of complicated, but it's really funny. And then they also had me play like a regular Oxford Brit. and that was super fun. I had a British accent for a really long time, and so we moved to the South, and then I got teased so much that I got rid of it, and this accent manifested. I don't know. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I like the English accents. I think they're cute. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. That kind of sounds sexist, but I think they're cool. I guess that's a better way of saying
Well, I don't think it's sexist. There's dudes that are English too.
it.
Don't like those.
No,
I think some of them are cute and some of them are annoying. It just depends. There's so many different
they got
accents
their
out there.
teeth or not, you know?
Yeah, so, well, like the Elizabeth Halley. It's just like I can't stand listening to her. She's beautiful. I could watch her all day, but her voice just really gets on my tits.
Stephanie says, I just watched Siren and I didn't know when I started it that it was a spinoff of Hannah's clip from VHS. Yes, I mean that's when you know you did a good clip in an anthology is when they make a whole movie out of it. Um, Ashley says, have you seen the fan-based film Never Hike Alone and Hike in the Snow? I think he's an amazing writer director. He should do more films. Just wondering your thoughts. I think those are fan-based fan films, and I don't back fan films because you can't do anything with a fan film. If you make a fan Jason film or Freddy or Michael or whatever fan film, you can't sell it on the open market. You can't stream it. You can upload it on YouTube for free. And yes, it's a good way of showcasing your style, but I always like to encourage people to think outside the box. You got characters in your heart. I know you do if you're a writer or director, and bring those characters to life.
I agree with you. I've made a couple of fan films and they're really fun and people love to watch them. But then, sometimes you get shut down. Like we did a Legend of Zelda one and they let us keep it up for a year, but they made us take it down eventually. And then somebody leaked it onto the internet and now it's out there forever. But it's just like all that blood, sweat, and tears. And then you kind of get rewarded for it in a kind of like ego kind of way. But yeah, news stories. Let's make some new content.
Um, Leanna said, really enjoyed you and Creep Show, great accent too.
Thank you.
Now, have you ever because you've got an extensive IMDb role, so I can't remember, like my memory comes in and out. Have you ever did a redneck role before?
Oh yeah.
Can
Yeah,
you talk about redneck?
oh, absolutely. I grew up in the South.
I love it.
Yeah, I played a character named Stephen Sue. And she was a full-on hillbilly, and I had like blacked out tooth and like a black eye, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And I do a lot of Southern Gothic movies too. I just think, I mean, that's a wonderful little subgenre that just like I can keep watching.
Leslie says, I'll be getting my perks at the wire. I need to save a few extra dollars to get on screen perk. Well, we appreciate you, Leslie.
Thank you, Leslie.
They said, you're in Georgia,
I'm in Georgia, yeah.
Says, true and honestly, the studio should do a sequel with Tommy Jarvis returning to kill Jason Voorhees. I'm just like, let these guys rest in peace, and I'm ready to move on. I have, we've seen Jason, we've seen Michael, we've seen Freddie. To me, Captain Spaulding was the last really icon that came in, and the only reason was not due to Rob, it was due to Sid Haig. I mean, we just need new quality indie film. I watched a movie from Canada the other day called The Butchers that was good quality indie film. You could tell it was kind of lower budget, but it was very cinematic. And to be honest, I'm going to try, if it's okay with you, Hannah, to bring up y'all's concept that y'all shot and share that with everyone.
Sure.
What in the world? Okay. That ain't working.
I heard something.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Welcome to the...
I had it queued all up. Let's take a look at this, everybody. This is on their Indigo fundraising thing and kind of gives you an idea of what they shot. And y'all shot this with really no money, just yourselves, right?
Yes, this was just all pull-in favors, and this is my friend's house, and yeah, so it's going to look comparable to this, but once we have funding, we can do exactly what we want. But this is just like a little proof of concept, so that everybody could see that we weren't going to screw around, basically.
It is the best script I've read. It's definitely my favorite script. So instead of doing a scene from the script, we came up with this scene. It shows the chemistry between...
Hold on. Y'all making movies for real. Y'all got it. They ain't out there with no handheld VHS making. They got a dolly. I see y'all got a dolly. Y'all got a nice tripod that's about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Y'all making the movie for real. This is gonna look good because that fluid camera motion. I like that right there.
We got a lot of really good friends that are
That's
really
the way to do it.
that are really talented. Yeah, this was all Steadicam. You'll see.
Oh man.
And then slaps the audience at the end with a very dark turn.
The scene sets up characters and the basic feel for the feature.
Yeah, so check out this scene coming up here. Hope you like it. And spread the word, because that's a big part of these things. And thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Normally funny for this kind of stuff, but there was something about her
What did she say?
that I meet someone and come into money. What?
Wow. Yeah, no. And how did you react when she told you this amazing news?
I believe her, I guess. She sounded super convincing.
Sure. I think she was giving you her fortune, though. She'd meet someone, get money.
Oh, I see. Clever. Nice. But no, I think she meant romantically, and maybe I already have.
No?
No, maybe not. So here we are. Again, do you want to come or?
I do. I shouldn't. It's work. There's this promotion, and I need to take advantage of it.
It's fine. It's totally. I got it. I'm just gonna. Sorry.
I'd like to see you again.
Really?
Really?
What is wrong with you? Oh, hey. Found $20 in this very jacket today, so there's that.
Yeah, but you didn't come into it. It was already yours. You were just separated from it for a while.
Now that looks good.
Thank you.
And I mean, I see a lot of indie stuff out here because people send me stuff all the time and they're like, Sarge, can you help me? Can you help me? And you can help people that can help themselves. When I say that, I mean, when you look at that clip, you can see camera movement, you can see sound design, you can see a good understanding of lighting. Yeah, they didn't have probably, y'all guys didn't have a 500,000 lights like Hollywood has, but y'all does great indie lighting. I mean,
Thanks.
it's good. I mean, Stephanie says Damien looks so creepy. He does. He does.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I said he can act fairly decent, but it is what it is. And then Kate, she's very talented. I've met her a couple of times. Got to hang out with her, talk with her about filmmaking, and she's very passionate young actress that's very talented and has a really great look for creepy movies, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And then Felicia's in it, and anyone that's in the horror community knows Felicia Rose, Sleepaway Camp. I joke with Felicia because she's so nice. If you hang out with Felicia, she's like, love you guys. She's energetic. She's so kind. But I'm like, she was the killer in Sleepaway Camp. Don't underestimate the killer from Sleepaway Camp.
Never.
But I think y'all guys are going to have an amazing movie. I mean, I really hope people take heed and get the word out there and get things going. I mean,
yes, I hope so too. Thank you so much for hosting this and helping us get the word out there. It's everything that you're doing is helping so much, and if we could get more people involved like this, we'd be able to make a movie. We'd be able to do it. Yeah.
Now,
so
what happens? What's the time frame of y'all being able to make this? Like, how long will it take you to shoot a film like this typically?
Well, we're blocking out 20 days, and that includes days off. So we're not going to have much time off. Not that we want to have time off. But and we're going to be shooting it up in Connecticut, and pre-production though has been going on for like a year, so it's not just 3 weeks, it's like a year and 3 weeks plus post-production, which is who knows how long that's going to take. But I
think that's one of the things us as horror fans, the people that if you're not, when you sit down and you turn on the streaming networks and you pick a horror movie and you watch it, what you don't see, or well, hopefully you see it on the screen, but what you don't understand, a lot of people don't, is that it could have took the writer 6 months to write the script. It could have took another 6 months to 2 years for the script to find a home. It could have took another year or two for the money to be found. And then it could have took another year or two in pre-production, through, like you said, 3 weeks to shoot it, another 6 months in post, because in post you got to do the assembly cut, which is like a rough cut, and then you got to go in and allow for a fine cut. Then you got to go in and have color correction, sound design. There is a lot of work that goes into a movie, and I'm just amazed at the quality of y'all's proof of concept in that video for the budget that y'all are asking for. I mean, it's just amazing at what you guys could do working together. And that's what we have to do in the horror community, is support something like that. Stop supporting, fan films that can't go nowhere, and let's support the next craziest thing that could be out there. I mean, it amazes me. Somebody wrote a check for A24's film about a lamb, but we can't get good horror movies. That's just blows my mind, What's she say? Stephanie says, I quit my job to be in an indie horror film. Good thing is I'm currently unemployed. And Mark says she is so generous. Probably talk about Felissa. I mean, It's just gonna be. I mean, we're gonna keep following this. When y'all go to shoot it, I might come up there and hang out with y'all,
Do it.
cover it, and see how it goes because it looks amazing.
Thank you.
And now you mentioned earlier you wrote a short segment. Do you enjoy writing?
Yes, I do. I actually wrote it with Josh Wilcox. I wrote the story. Well, I came up with the story. He wrote the script, and then I helped change things about it. And that was one of the most fun bits because usually when you're a filmmaker, you come up with all these ideas, and it's even if you get excited about the idea, it's kind of a bummer because it's probably never going to see the light of day. And so this one, we already had funding, and they just let me do whatever I wanted, and it was just kind of like a very unusual miracle situation where I just was given money, could do whatever I wanted, and it was just fun to see it go from like an idea that popped into my head all the way to being sold in a feature film, and just extremely satisfying. Yeah.
Now, everybody watching this, be sure you share this video.
Please do.
Go to Peeping Tom Movie on Instagram and follow them. They also have a Facebook page and everything like that. Follow them, share it. If you can't buy the $10 sticker, if you can't get a perk, try to support it by sharing it out once a
Spread the
week.
word. Please do.
Get the word out there because the thing about it is we're never, ever going to get better horror movies if we don't get behind something. And there's not many. Like I said, I've looked at 100, easily about 100 projects in the last year that
Right.
people are like, hey, can you help us with? And it's not that I'm a snob when it comes to stuff because I understand. I mean, my first movie I made for like $2,000. And it looked like that. It shot on some Canon GL2s, and it was a documentary, and it premiered in LA, and we was down there at the DGA, and it was shown at the theater and everything like that. But it was a lot of work, and I understand the work, but I also understand that you have to have quality if you want people to back you. And I really think you guys have quality. You have a great story. You have a great cast with powerful, talented female women at a time that we need to elevate and have more diversity in the horror community. We've been talking about it. Women in horror, women in horror, women in horror. Let's support our women in horror. Let's support them. Get a perk.
And yeah, and these like walk-on roles, these scenes with Damien, these like paying to be in the finale and things like and the party scene. These are not bullshit roles. This is part of the story. That we're opening up. Just so you know that the finale scene is going to be incredible. It's going to be otherworldly. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautifully shot, and it'll be something that you're proud of being in. So just so you know, I'm not giving any more away. I just want you guys to know that.
And I've read it, and I'm like, I want to give it away, but I'm like, no, don't give it away. But and that's one of the things. Some of the people say, well, why are you selling roles? Well, let me tell you how this works a little bit. If you take an investor, and I'm not telling you, Hannah, because just the viewers.
Right.
It's like if you take money from Hollywood, they could say, hey, you got to use Uncle Billy Bob's cousins because he's the money man's cousin or he's the money man's daughter or whatever. And they can't act worth nothing. They working at McDonald's, but you got to use them in the movie. So as a director, producer, and actor, you're used to taking people that are aspiring or may not have a background and pulling it out of them because that's your job as a director is pulling that out of them. And I am confident that Hannah, whoever puts them for them roles, she go pull that talent out of you.
We are not going to stop until you look good.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Daniel said just did the walk on perk. That's good, Daniel.
Nice.
We
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Daniel.
And I got a kind of off the wall, off the subject question I wanted to ask you, Hannah, is what kind of music do you listen to?
Oh my gosh. I listen to everything except for the Eagles and the Doors. Oh, and flamenco. I can't listen to flamenco anymore. It gives me anxiety. But I listen to everything from like death metal to Cardi B to just like I'm really into this blue sky black death right now. It's like super chill. Um I yeah, everything. I go through these little phases. What about you?
I'm a big, I like the Doors, which you don't listen to. I like the Grateful Dead, but I'm a big hip hop guy. I like a lot of like 90s hip hop. I like Petey Pablo, 50 Cent. I like a lot of some of that new stuff that comes from Atlanta that's down there. The only reason I mention, music because when you keep going, when you're around Atlanta, there's so many music producers down there. Jermaine Dupri's down there. I mean, it's so much talent that comes from Atlanta and the music side, and
It's
also
fantastic. Yeah.
it's a great place. Um,
And don't get me wrong, I like Don Henley's writing. It just got wore out for me. So those are the two bands that I just can't put on. But
I go in
yeah,
phases. Like I've been listening to a lot of Drake lately.
cool.
Like that track he's got with Future's pretty good, and I've been I like that. I like that. But Future's kind of a mumble rapper, and I like to keep my mumble rapping to a minimum because I like to understand what they're saying. I miss like the
Yeah.
old school Beastie Boys, Cypress Hill, the fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I like both, but I like it when they have subtitles. So I'm like, oh, that's what it
That's
is.
what they said. Um, Kevin said Danielle Harris would agree with you guys with the women in horror. Well, she should probably jump on here and buy a perk or buy a walk on roll and support the film. People are strange when you're a stranger. Yep, that's the Doors. Okay, but anyway, I just want to thank everybody for watching and be sure to share this. I appreciate your time. Any last words you want to throw in there, Hannah?
No, just thank you guys so much for participating. And yeah, thank you for having us and supporting us, Sarge. It's been wonderful. And yes, just please check out the perks and if you know somebody who happens to be a fan of Felissa or Sleepaway Camp or VHS or all of Damien's work, just please just like shoot it their way. Be like, hey, this might be something you're interested in, just like think outside the box for us and we really appreciate everything that you do.
Well, we appreciate you guys out there making movies because if y'all didn't make horror movies, I wouldn't have nothing to sit here and watch and talk about and have fun because it gets boring out here with nothing to watch. Everybody, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for your time, Hannah. You're so amazing. And thank you for stepping up and directing because we need more good horror directors out there. And maybe we'll work together on a project very, 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 very soon.
I love that. Yes.
You guys take care. Sergeant Horror for Mad Monster, and we're out of here.